Welcome to this quick intro to SSD cache technology on EonStor DS storage systems from Infortrend. With SSD cache, you can greatly increase read performance for your most important data and applications without any major technical complexities. We'll cover the main benefits of SSD cache, touch on the way it works when installed on storage systems, and talk briefly about related specs and requirements. SSDs have clear advantages over spin drives in terms of read speeds and lower response time, or latency. With SSD cache, systems have access to as much as 16 times more IOPS when reading data from the cache pool. Additionally, compared to spin drive caches, SSD cache offers up to 88% savings in response time. This makes it an excellent solution for applications where random read intensity is high, especially online commerce and email. Like all other Infortrend solutions, SSD cache is easy to use and supervised. It automatically manages your cache pool, moving the most frequently accessed data to SSD. At the same time, it ensures there are backup copies of this data still stored on traditional spin drives for data protection and redundancy. SSD cache is seamlessly integrated into the SandWatch GUI with a very user-friendly design. Infortrend testing shows us that with just one 400 gig SSD alongside 8 10K RPM SAS hard drives, IOPS goes from around 3,000 to a massive 48,000, or a 16-fold increase. To get that kind of performance without SSD cache, we'd have to use an incredible 140 10K RPM SAS hard drives in total, which of course would be prohibitively expensive. SSD cache therefore unlocks a very cost-effective and immediately noticeable performance boost. A great aspect of SSD cache technology from Infortrend is that it requires almost no management. After SSD cache is activated and installed on your EonStor DS system, it monitors data statistics and establishes data hotness. It then begins to move the hottest data and applications to your SSD cache pool for improved performance. Less mission-critical data remains on bulk spin drives for an optimal balance between performance and capacity utilization. SSD cache works with EonStor DS 1000, EonStor DS 2000, and EonStor DS 3000 systems. Check the slide for the minimum firmware and SandWatch interface version requirements. It is a premium feature with a license purchase, though we do offer a 30-day trial so you can evaluate it for yourself and decide if it meets your needs. SSD cache pool sizes are directly related to the number of controllers on your EonStor DS system and the amount of system memory. Up to 4 SSDs per controller can be associated with SSD cache. 2 gig memory is needed for every 150 gigabyte in SSD cache pool capacity. This means that on a dual controller EonStor DS system with 16 gig memory, you could have an SSD cache pool of 3,200 gigabytes, which is a lot of space for important speed-sensitive data. Controllers do need to be reset and restarted to enable SSD cache. After the initial controller reset and SSD cache activation, management is easy. There's no need to reset or restart the system when adding or removing SSDs to and from the SSD cache pool. And selecting drives is a simple matter via the SandWatch UI. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you'll find SSD cache a great help in your organization.